today, Dave, there has been a hashtag free Killer Cross going around. He's been retweeting a lot as well of people just, being upset at his situation in Impact where he is not being used. Even I tweeted out to him, and he retweeted me and put this picture that I have up on the screen that he said that we, the fans, voted for Killer Cross as to be the one to watch in 2019 on Impact Wrestling. And he has not been used at all in months. And there's been a lot of stuff going around with the whole blading, and then we got the whole situation with the contract. So Fightful came out with this article this past week saying that Mike Johnson from PW Insider reports that Impact Wrestling did offer Killer Cross a six-figure deal when the two sides met to discuss a new contract. The report states Cross was offered a 3-year deal worth $40,000 the first year, $60,000 the second, and $80,000 in the final year. In total, $180,000 over the course of 3 years. Another source told Johnson that those numbers are outdated and the final offer was much higher. Cross declined the deal and is being held to his original deal, which still has 18 months remaining, per the report. However, to the report that Cross deal is up in 18 months. Fightful has learned that the deal is actually up in December, but Impact has the option to roll it over for another year. Johnson goes on to report that Cross will not be used at the September 5th and 6th Impact tapings in Las Vegas, where Killer Cross is living. He has not been used by the company since Slammiversary, where he reportedly refused to do a blade job. The two sides agreed to use fake blood for his match with Eddie Edwards. I remember you were really upset at that. Now we know why they had to use the fake blood. As previously reported, Cross has hired an attorney and is under the belief that Impact is in breach of his contract. Really sticky situation going on between Killer Cross and Impact Wrestling. I don't know really what side to choose. Of course, I'm going to pick Killer Cross because that's my boy and I do enjoy him a lot. But it seems like if you're in an Impact situation and you're not going to use Killer Cross, why keep him and kind of basically keep him hostage is what they're doing. I know you're going to say that he signed the contract and that's, he has to deal with it. I 100% agree with you on that. But would you feel like it's a bit petty if Impact does roll over that extra year on his contract?
That could be a little petty, but I mean, look, I think they're probably going to come to some agreement, just like they did with Scarlett. But then you start setting precedents where if you sign a guy to a contract and they start to get a little bit of a big buzz around them or something like that, that they can say, "Oh, I want a new contract. I want out of my deal to go somewhere else." And that's basically what you're doing. You're saying, okay, well, then if anyone signs a contract, they can do the same thing. So we want out of our contract now. So, I mean, look, I hope he gets to do what he wants and be happy. And it's weird. It's so weird that this whole thing is so public right now, which I'm sure he hates it, and I'm sure Impact hates it, because like this should not be this public where everyone knows what's going on like this.
Right.
I mean, it just shouldn't. I mean, this is so public. We heard about this months ago, which it's being dealt with like in front. In a way, it's kind of good for Cross because it's being dealt with in the media where everyone knows about it. So everyone's asking for Cross to get released. So I think he's going to likely be released in the next, the next couple months.
Kind of like the Neville treatment a bit, where it's basically Impact saying, you want to come out here this way, we're not going to use you at all. But and like you said, this could be a really good thing for Killer Cross in the point being that now that this is out, it's not a good look for Impact. A lot more people are going to be going, on Killer Cross's side, saying that they're basically holding him hostage because they're not using him. And it feels like if they're not going to use him, why keep him on your show? and it's gonna look, and more people are gonna get behind Killer Cross on them wanting to release him. Like look at it today, where there was a free Killer Cross, and I think even he posted on his retweeted someone who went to the tapings. They started a free Killer Cross chant at the show. So I mean, it's not a good look for Impact to keep this guy, and not use him. It's just wasting him away, don't you think?
I mean, it is, and the same thing happened with Scarlett. Her contract wasn't exactly up yet either, I don't think, and she wanted out, and they finally let her release her and let her go.
Yeah, you have to think that this may help that process of him getting released.
I think it's more
or
of a
coming
thing
to
where
some of an agreement with Impact.
I think it's more of a thing they're just worried about losing someone else to AEW.
Oh yeah, or WWE. Who knows? Killer Cross could sign with the
Yeah.
WWE. We don't know. He could easily end up with the WWE in a heartbeat.
Either or. Losing to one of the big two companies.
Exactly. Tapings were also in his hometown, and you don't use him like that. You don't even have to pay for him to come. You can just drive there, and you're not even gonna use him in his hometown or where he's living right now. Like, that's pretty fucked up. I'm not and fucked up. We've come on this show many times and have talked about the lack of talent they have other than the women's division going in Impact. You know, they're losing people, and you have a guy like Killer Cross who's multi-talented, who can do promos, who can do good matches in the ring, and you don't use him. Instead, we get the same matches or feuds every week on Impact. We get an Elgin and Rhino. You can't tell me come on, Elgin and Killer Cross? Hello? I would go for that. Or Killer Cross, name a guy on Impact. I would be down for it. Instead, we're getting the same bullshit.
I just say if he doesn't want to be there and he's not happy, I know it sucks if you let a guy out of his contract early, but you know what, why not? If he's not happy and he wants to leave, let him leave. I mean, because you got plenty of people, it seems, that are there that want to be there.
On this question, does Impact value Johnny Swinger more than Killer Cross? I mean, look what they're doing. They've back-to-back weeks. We've gotten or video packages of this Johnny Swinger guy. They're showing him on Twitter. When's the last time they've mentioned Killer Cross on Impact? Never. We just read in the article, he hasn't wrestled since Slammiversary. He's just wasting. He's
kind of like Cage.
Yeah. On what's up, Bob Ruski? Thank you for joining us. But it's different. This whole thing stems from the fact that Impact wouldn't give Cross a raise. Money is the cause of this, not treatment of his character. Yes.
But then you read that they did offer him a raise, and he doesn't want it. I assume he looks at it like he could go make more money somewhere else.
Do you feel
like AEW? Feel like,
okay, here's my question to you. Do you feel like he's worth more than what they offered?
I mean, I'm sure he is, but okay, is before he came into Impact, was he even as well known before then? I mean, would we be in the situation now?
See, I don't know that. I became a big fan of his from Impact. So
exactly. I mean, we didn't know who he was.
I can't really, honestly answer that question. Oh, Mr. AEW, welcome, brother. Didn't know you were here. Thank you for this. Oh, long paragraph. We got see him in the WWE teaming with Black. Man, that would be an incredible team right there. I think that regardless if you have the money or not, the spending still has to make sense. To me, is Cross worth 6 figures to Impact? Then can they afford to pay 6 figures? And to me, he doesn't really feel like one of the top guys in Impact. Sure, he has good look and delivers on promos, but his matches are kind of bland, and it doesn't feel like his ceiling is upper mid-card. I also haven't seen any evidence that he is helping Impact with ticket sales, pay-per-view buys or ratings, and YouTube views, whatever else. That being said, his whole situation has been handled badly, and I honestly think that neither side is looking good here.
I'm not so sure if...
that's a good point there.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure that they're really helping Impact for the best right now either, because all they're doing is bringing in ex-ECW guys. That's all they're doing right now. They're not really bringing in a lot of new talent. Yes, I think they just signed Tessa's husband. I thought I seen someone said online that just signed him, but
or pushing the
They
young
keep
talent
going.
that they have. You know,
No, but they're bringing in like they just brought in Rhino. They just brought in
Ken
Johnny
Shamrock.
Swinger. I mean, yeah, Shamrock, another guy. I mean, granted he was an
That's
ECW,
good.
but
That's a good point there, Bob Ruski. Who
still,
really helps Impact with ticket sales? That's a good point. I don't know who really you could.
no one's watching on Twitch. I mean,
Yeah, last
they're trying
night
to do
3,000
anything.
viewers. You know, I would. You know, I gotta always say I would kill to have 3,000 people watch me. But for an
But
Impact
not for a
show,
wrestling
for
promotion.
a last time ever, you'll see LAX in your company, and you get 3,000 viewers. Ooh, yikes!
Well,
That's not good.
granted, were they really? You could say the same thing. Were they really helping Impact? Would they have been worth the contract that they were offered too? They were offered a big contract too, and they turned it down. So
Oh well, you know who knows
no
what
one's.
that offer was.
I think what they're trying to do is the reason they're going after these XWE/ECW guys is because they're trying to get people who are recognized, who people recognize to get you to tune into the Twitch show to bring up those viewers. That's what they're doing, and I don't know if it's working. It's not. Honestly, who knows how much money they're paying Shamrock to come in? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they're paying him a lot more money than people think.
Oh, I'm sure they're paying him a
I mean,
nice
they're paying
chunk
him a
of
lot.
change. Oh yeah, here goes my computer
You don't?
acting
You think
up.
they're paying Shamrock? You think they're paying him pocket change, Shamrock?
No, no, I'm sure he's getting a nice chunk of change, to show up on
Oh,
Impact and probably have a match with Moose. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think he's getting paid that chump change. Let's be honest, AEW probably got no more than to give him. The rumor is AEW hasn't even announced 40% of the roster, yet 90% of the women in the Battle Royal thing isn't signed, so I don't know what the fuck. But I do know is Vinnie Mac will do anything and pay anyone to stop AEW from getting ahead. I It would take much more convincing to Vince after the words this guy has really wanted in AEW for him to break out his $500,000 contract file. Are you saying he's not worth the money?
yeah.
And that WWE would probably offer. All right, my
See,
computer seems to be
I
working
think
now. Good.
Cross.
Hopefully.
Oh,
No, you're
sorry.
good. You're good. You're good.
I don't think Cross would want to go to WWE because simply he wouldn't be able to be the same character he is now. He couldn't be Killer Cross.
More
He
than
had to be
likely.
somebody completely different. Yeah, and if he goes to AEW, he's likely to keep his gimmick and keep his name and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep
Bob
doing what
Mercy
he's
does
doing.
make
Like
a
if
good point. Like
Scarlett signs, yeah,
these guys that Impact are bringing in are probably very cheap. You know, like he says, I don't
yeah,
think the ECW alumni are asking for that much. So he does
yeah,
make a
and
good
it's
point.
smart. It's smart too, though, because go after these cheaper guys. I mean, instead of bringing in these bigger names,
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
Marion,
go
I
for
get
the
you now.
smaller guys.
Marion's saying that Vince
Go for
will.
bring in the people that no one recognizes to kind of get them over more and to help them.
Yeah.
Because that way you have a bunch of young wrestlers instead of a bunch of older wrestlers, which I get what they're doing with some of these guys. They want to use them, but still. Even
Okay.
Cage, to me, it seems like
Can you
I
hear
don't think
me?
he's really helping Impact either. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because you were just talking over me. I was like, Can you hear me or not?" All right. I'm saying Vince will pay Cross $500,000 or more just to stop him from going to AEW. Yeah, that's a good point. Does he own his name? I believe so. I don't think it's like
Yeah,
the
everyone does.
Impact.
That was the new deal.
Yeah, with Impact, it's not like the same situation with the WWE. I don't know, but it doesn't. But if he doesn't, Killer Cross still has a. Oh, Kevin Cross still has a good ring to it. Yeah, Kevin Cross and Killer Cross. I think he owns it. Okay, good. I didn't know he was called Kevin Cross. I'm assuming that's
He's
his
gonna be
real name.
called
I'm assuming.
Tony. They're gonna change it. He's gonna be called Crisscross.
Chris Cross. No. Noob says, I got a prediction already and a spoiler for this week on Raw and SmackDown. MSG, the fans will hijack the main event women's tag team match between Charlotte and Becky versus Bayley and Sasha, and the fans chanting, "We want Asuka, we want Kairi Sane," because I understand the fans' frustration. Yes, the Kabuki Warriors deserve better. Yes, they want to be on television. Yeah, good luck with that, bro. That's not going to happen. I know you're a big Asuka lover, but I don't see the fans doing that during that show, during that match. I mean, sure, if it happens, it'd be pretty cool, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from Killer Cross. So that's a very sticky situation. I'm sure we'll hear more about it in the next coming